Hello everyone and welcome back to Arcade Spirits. If you want to start from the beginning because you are stumbling across this video, I have a playlist. If you'd like to play the game yourself, I have links in the description. In the last part, we watched Teo do a flash mob with his Community of Showtime stage, if I'm saying that right. And now we have promised each other we will see each other later, and we are headed to the Funplex booth, I think. Let's see, Exhibit Hall B. It very much resembles Exhibit Hall A, where I started my day. Industry types, dealers, swag, crowds. But there's definitely more actual arcade games here, as local places have set up pop-up arcades all over the place. It's hard to notice the smaller displays with the giant garish deco palace display eating up the center, but I managed to crawl my way around the edge to find. There they are. Well now, pretty much everybody else in the crew is save for Francine. Teo and Ashley are still off hanging out with their respective communities. I've got some time. Maybe I can bend someone's ears meanwhile. Let's see. What's everybody doing right now? Hold on before we actually go in. How are relationships? Right. Did I try to be friendly with everyone? So hard. So hard. Let's see what everybody's doing now. Devin's reading the news, bored out of his mind. Naomi fixing up a busted Galaga. They use a break. Percy's idly playing a round of Nibbler. Queen Bee looks worried and agitated. We're still going between Teo and Gavin, even though I like Teo a lot more. Teo is like in my mind, but at the same time I'm just like, you know what? This is the go with the flow section, I don't know. Gavin's poking his way through various arcade industry news feeds. More closures of local arcades, more buyouts by Deco, dire news as usual. Hey Gavin, just who I wanted to see. I kinda added another tournament to Funplex Rising for Showtime stage. A tourney with prizes.
Seriously?
Another prize? Really? Trust me, this is a passionate audience that's gonna keep coming back for more. It'll be worth it. Well, this is your event, not mine. I'm leaving responsibility and consequences in your hands. Anyway, we can deal with that later. Are you enjoying roaming about, Max? Don't worry about us. Naomi and I can handle promoting the Funplex itself, while you're out promoting Funplex Rising. And while I'm sure we're all working very hard, I seriously need a break. And I'm guessing you do too. Wanna talk? I suppose it'd be nice to distract myself, and we rarely see a free moment of any sort of team building. Do we? Very well, I can allocate you a few minutes of your time. Blech. So, tell me about yourself for starters. I mean, we work together and you like pinball, I guess? I barely know anything about you beyond that. We spent some time together, but I suppose it's been rather focused time, hasn't it? No time for pleasantries. Very well. Where would you like to start precisely? At the start? I mean, why the arcade exactly? Because it's a losing prospect. Don't misunderstand me. I'd love for it not to be a losing prospect, and honestly, I'm pleased you're stepping up to help with that. I suppose... well, you know I like to bring order to chaos. Just like pinball, it requires a degree of finesse, alongside a degree of luck. Two factors my family simply does not understand. Oh, we don't have to get into family stuff if you don't want to. No. It'd go a long way to explain how I came to be where I am. It's fine. I suppose the best standalone example would be my father, constantly reminding me how he came from nothing and made himself a business success, a gold standard. Except it's a lie. His father came from nothing, not him. Society wasn't exactly, let's say, advantageously arranged for the Coopers. In my grandfather's era, he had even more societal setbacks to deal with than usual, simply due to the color of his skin. We made great progress on such issues since the early 19XX. Not a solved equation, not by far, but quite daunting during his particular chunk of history. Despite that, with ridiculously hard work and a bit of cleverness, my grandfather recognized the technology sector as the right place to be at the right time, and began his work there. He carved out a good life for his family and gave back to his community. His children would have the best schooling, the best home life, all the resources and comforts one needs to get started in life. Which unfortunately led to my family also becoming the absolute definition of class privileged. Bit of a double-edged sword. My grandfather worked himself to death to give my father a makeshift golden parachute, but my father trivializes that to make himself look like a self-made man. He gives my grandfather no credit for any of it. My brothers and sisters? I sniffle in your direction. My brothers and sisters, also supposedly self-made men and women, despite taking daddy's seed money to buy their own businesses, each and every one. If you ever want a shining example of meritocracy gone wild, look no further than the Cooper family. You could shatter a diamond with the power of our hubris. He pauses, biting his lips slightly. Apologies, going on a rant, aren't I? It's okay, you can let your feelings out, or hypocrisy and injustice don't suit your rationality. Or have you ever told them how you feel? We're going on the we're really, laying it down hard in the kindness section. It's okay, you can let your feelings out. It's okay, Gavin. You're clearly feeling hurt by this. I don't mind if you want to vent. I've got two perfectly good shoulders to cry on. I'm not quite that far gone, thank you. I appreciate the offer, but it's more the I'm like, you did Spanish? Luna. I appreciate the offer, but it's more the lunacy of my family's pride that grates on me, which is why I left home to strike out on my own.
You must think me daft, turning down my family's wealth and taking up a position as accountant of a small family arcade. But I saw it as a challenge, a chance to be my own man. Like my grandfather before me, the world gave him nothing. He came from nothing. But through hard work and determination, he did it. He overcame. And while my brothers and sisters bought up tech companies, mashing up their projects together, then flipping them on the market once the value increased, I sought to take a failing enterprise, make it succeed, and stay with it. I'm not a love it and leave it man when it comes to business. I will overcome, in my own way.
So that's me, in a nutshell. A child of means who rejects those means and embraces a dream of madness. Does this suffice for your getting to know you needs, Antonio? I'm left dumbfounded for a moment. I've been expecting light small talk, not a backstory plus mission statement. And honestly, I hadn't expected the accountant of a video arcade to be, well, born in a high tax bracket, a little like the surprise of Percy's wealth. But one question lingers. So, you went to college, right? For business and accounting, yes. Right. And no student loans. And well, you had clothes on your back and a nice house in a nice neighborhood, I'm guessing. Meaning you aren't exactly starting from zero. Yes, I know. It's not exactly the ideal start for one on a quest to prove his well-to-do father wrong. I realize I'm a bit of a fool, I'll admit to that. I certainly enjoy the head start that wealth and gradual societal change can provide. I can never truly claim to be wholly self-made man to the same degree. And I don't consider rejecting the family wealth an insult to my grandfather's efforts. I consider it as an insult to my father, who lies and boasts, and claims this was all his own doing. So while I cannot truly start from zero as my grandfather did, I intend to be as much my own man as I can be, to honor his legacy in my own way, and that will have to do. Damn, that brought down the mood. Time for me to lighten it up again. why the arcade exactly? All the pinball you can play? Or why not buy the arcade outright? Call it Gavin's Gavinplex of Gavinness. Or did you join the Funplex because your family's background in tech? Bold. Gutsy. Let's go. Okay, so you wanted to rebel, but why join an arcade? You said it's a turn around of what? Yes, you said it's to turn around a failure, but plenty of other failures you could tackle. Plenty of other failures you could tackle. Be honest, it's a pinball, isn't it? You're the pinball wizard with such a supple wrist. It's true, I do have something of a vice when it comes to pinball. The manic chaos, the precision of the shots, the fickle physics. But I'm afraid the answer is far more mundane. I asked my iris what job positions were open that met my requirements and picked this at random. Bet your iris is tickled pink that she landed you your dream job. Iris is a cloud-based computing algorithm. She is not tickled pink, or any other color for that matter. But yes, it did work out quite well, I'd say. And I believe I've bet your ear about social economic philosophy more than enough. Undoubtedly, this has been the most boring conversation of your entire life, and for that I apologize. It's fine, it's fine. I said I wanted to get to know you. This is getting to know you. And fair is fair, I think you should get to know me. Quad pro quo. Oh my god, I've never...
Self-voicing enabled. Quid pro quo. Self-voicing disabled.
I've never, ever heard that said to me, ever. So now I'm just like, how? I tell him about my happy childhood and my unhappy adolescence. I tell him about the fall of the Reeves family and of Juniper pulling me out of the ashes. I tell him about what was going on in my head on day one of the Funplex, and even about Juniper's secret job offer. He listens attentively. At first I think he's ignoring me, just nodding along as he says nothing in return, but no, he's absorbing it. He's absorbing it, analyzing it. And now you're fighting. Fighting for your dream, fighting for the Funplex, just like me. That about sums it up, yes.
Very well. Consider your dream under my protective umbrella.
Oh.
I'll fight for your dream as well with all my heart.
Shut up! Oh my god.
I know I haven't been the best at protecting Naomi's dream. I know I make mistakes, but I'm trying to improve, to be a better person. I trust that if I ever accidentally step on your dream, you will let me know with honesty and clarity. Do not hold back. Don't be afraid to hurt my feelings.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Then we have an accord.
Now then, I think it's a fun flavored weekend of recreational activity, but we're both here to work, first and foremost, yes? I suppose it'd best go back to that, but I won't forget what we've discussed. Thanks, Gavin. Gavin gets back to his work, and I get back to mine. All for the glory of the Funplex and our dreams. My brain hurts. My current status? Sitting. And enjoying it. I took a few minutes of searching and stalking, but eventually I found an open seat in the pop-up arcade. While the sit is satisfying, the rest of everything else is miserable. My feet are sore from walking all over. I don't remember the last time I ate. I feel dehydrated and I have a slight headache from all the noise. And there are still 4 more hours of max left. Oh, if Gavin saw me in my current state. Leaning back, arms at my side, completely exhausted. I can picture it clearly. He'd be looming over me with his dark, unfretting eyes. He would lean in close and frown, grumbling. He'd say, "Antonio, may I remind you, these seats are for patrons only." I audibly sighed just thinking about it. As luck would have it, Gavin and Naomi are huddled over the Galaga cabinet, trying to figure out why the monitor's not working. Freedom. My buns are experiencing the best freedom has to offer. And while my body feels like it could collapse at any moment, I feel good about it. Right? Getting the word out about Funplex Rising was great. Seeing people's face light up with excitement is why I'm really here. Plus, watching Teo inspire the crowd was an added bonus. His energy is infectious. I smile to myself. Hold on, how are we doing with the relationships? Yeah, okay. Good. We're doing well. I smile to myself. The pain in my heels and the grumble in my tummy, worth it. While enjoying the— oh my god, no, hold on.
Self-voicing enabled. While enjoying the respite. Self-voicing
Respite?
disabled.
Oh my god, is that how you say it? While enjoying the respite, I hope that's how you say it, I let my eyes close for a moment, and of course, the second I do, I hear footfalls closing in. There you are, Antonio. We've been looking all over for you. I said I was gonna be here. But we were specifically going to meet back here, at the Funplex pop-up arcade. Yes, but we didn't expect you to be tucked into— yes, but we didn't expect you to be tucked in the darkest corner of the arcade. I'm hiding from Gavin. He'll put me to work if he sees me. Hiding behind the pinball machines is probably not the smartest choice then. You know how he loves pinball. Every spare moment he thinks someone is watching him is spent getting the high score. I have so many candid pictures on my phone of him playing pinball. You have to show me, like, right now. Haha, yes! His concentration face is so cute. Before I can even react, Ashley has her phone out and is scrolling through pictures of Gavin. Both look up at me guiltily. Don't we have more important matters? Max is over in a few hours and we have a lot of work left to do. You're right, Antonio. Please don't tell Gavin. Your secret is safe with me. Right, so business time. I think I got something. Go on. I have a friend and she's an indie arcade developer. The new title she's working on is amazing. It's got co-op, it's got competition. It's got magical schoolgirls. Now you're talking. It's got it all. Wait, I'm pretty sure I've heard about this game. Is it called Magical Moon Cuties? Yeah, it's that one. And she's thinking about premiering it at Funplex Racing.
Oh my gosh!
It would be cooler than cool. It sounds interesting enough. Might make for another fun game for people to play. Definitely. My friend is someone renowned in the indie scene, and the game's been in development for years. I'm sure it would create some buzz at least. Are you kidding, Teo? We'd be the talk of the arcade world. I do like being the talk of world-sized things. Let's go check it out. I stand up, invigorated by the news. As I start walking back towards the hall with Teo, I hear a call from behind me. Wait! I turn around and see Ashley standing there, fidgeting. Her green eyes are darting back and forth nervously. Ashley? I, too, have a plan. She motions for us to come back towards her, which we do.
Huh?
What's your idea, Ashley? She puts an arm around Teo and the other one around me, huddling the three of us together. So, what I am proposing might not be the most legal course of action. Do I even want to know? We've seen the huge monitors hanging from the ceiling in the middle of the major halls, right? How could I miss them? They're constantly bombarding us with ads and false hopes of high-quality convention food. No matter how amazingly tempting that $9 hot dog looks on the big screen, don't even think about it. Exactly my point. Everyone is looking at it. I know a way to sneak into the back area. All we have to do is break into the main communications center and upload the flyer Antonio made into the rotation.
Whoa!
You want to do what? Shh, keep your voice down, Teo. Unless you want to get arrested for being an accomplice. It's a genius plan. Everyone at Max will see our names in lights. Okay, so yeah, that's a less than legal way of getting the word out, but I have to admit, you got me intrigued. And it'll definitely work, but I don't know. Trust me. Of course, we need to go in disguise. I'm already nicely dressed, but Antonio would need to switch into something way more distracting. Why more distracting, exactly? To distract from your face, of course. What I'm trying to say is people will remember the costume, not the person wearing it. I've got the perfect maid costume for you. It's from Melee Maids. The same thing my costume's from. A maid costume? You want to put me in a maid costume? It'll be fun and just a ticket for keeping people from recognizing you. But if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I suggest going with Teo instead and letting me take care of the advertising myself. It's cool, I can do it. Totally up to you. Though I think you'd look super cute as a maid. Let's not forget about magical moon cuties. I suggest you come with me instead. Far safer. Both options are valid, honestly. Splashy advertising would certainly drive foot traffic, even if getting it up would be dodgy. Importantly, Iris would help us do it safely without anyone noticing. Safer than actually going off on our own to try this inadvisable stunt. But a highly anticipated indie title would do the trick and result in far less jail time. We're gonna stick with Teo. Teo! Ashley, you got this. You don't need any help from me. Honestly, I don't feel like getting carted off to jail today. It's not on my scheduled agenda. Plus, I'm pretty sure Ashley can handle breaking and entering all by herself. And yes, I do realize how wrong that sounds, even in my own head. I bet you've got plenty of heist. I bet you've seen plenty of heist anime. So much that you can sneak into the Natural History Museum and steal the world's biggest fromage egg? Wow. Fabergé egg in the middle of the day? I got like 12 bobby pins holding the swig on. I won't let you down. I know you won't, and please try to be careful. Ashley smiles widely before prancing off into the crowd of arcade folk. Can't stop worrying, Antonio. Ashley knows. You can stop worrying, Antonio. Ashley knows exactly what she's doing. That's why I'm worried. Fair enough. Well, shall we go see a lady about an indie game? We shall. As we left the pop-up and traveled deep into the halls of Max, people kept stopping us to say hello to Teo. We'd be happily on our merry little way and then get interrupted by a random person. Oh man, it's Teo! How are you doing? Great, but hey, we are on our way to meet with someone. Let's catch up later. Cool, laters. And this happened every couple minutes. Walking through the convention floor was like walking through a field of landmines. Where instead of explosions, it was uncomfortable introductions to people I will probably never see again. Eventually, Teo leads me back to a section of arcade games hidden behind all the major company booths, near where he held his dance flash mob. What they set up here is mostly reminiscent of the rest of Max. Arcade cabinets are closely lined up side by side, making several aisles of gamers to aimlessly wander down. I would have expected to be more used to pushing my way through throngs of people. Of crowds by now, but nope. Teo and I force our way through masses of chittering conversation. As I look around at all the different arcade games that surround us, I notice something's off. There are exactly 0 titles that I actually recognize. No Dig Dug, Gauntlet, nor Street Fighter. Not even a hint of a pinball game. I was starting to get concerned. Teo, where in Mex are we? This is the Indie Mega Arcade. Well, originally they called it the Indie Mega Arcade Expo, but then IMAX sued them. The what? That didn't explain anything to me. What are all these weird games? I understand nothing. If you'll hush those alluring lips of yours for a second, I'd be more than happy to explain. Oh, Teo, I believe the best way to hush my lips is with yours. Which is exactly what I wish I was brave enough to say. But instead the sloppy words that fell from my mouth were, okay, I'm hushing now, totally and completely hushed. Thanks, love. Now, where was I? Ah yes, the Indie Mega Arcade is a huge area of Max that showcases all the new and upcoming indie arcade games. Indie developers get a chance to show off their stuff, get useful feedback, and maybe get a few people interested in their games along the way. That's the dream of the indie dev, to make that game that people enjoy playing. I really don't know much about the indie arcade scene admittedly. Working at the Funplex offers me a crash course in arcade culture. Every day I'm learning about completely new aspects. It does make perfect sense to have an indie game scene. I never realized that it existed. It's pretty amazing, actually. A community of people who share ideas and a passion. Can't afford mass production runs of games, but they've got a lot of heart, you know. They can't crank out a box for every arcade on Earth, but indie developers are free to make whatever type of game they want. No pressure from a big name company either. Complete and utter creative freedom. Really, anyone can make a game if they put their mind to it. In fact, I bet even you, Antonio, can make an arcade game. What say you? My game would be spectacular. Don't we have other things to focus on right now? I've toyed with the idea. My game would be spectacular. I've always been the idea guy. Ever since I was a kid, I've been dreaming up game ideas. Like the zombie-themed fighter or a train driving racer. I got tons of them, just waiting to be turned into a fully fledged game. I used to draw out intricate arcade game levels on paper too. Being surrounded by hardworking individuals at the Funplex only enriched that fantasy. I mean, I can't code or draw, but I can always dream up new ideas. Teo, you don't even know. I've got so many ideas swimming in my head for a game. Oh yeah? What would you make first? I'd make a romance game, I'd design a super cute puzzle game, roguelike, procedurally generated open world twin stick platformer with loot boxes. I'd make a romance game. I don't know exactly how a romance arcade game would work, but I'm all about creating new genres. I was thinking some sort of game where you can date and romance people. Yes! Also, it takes place in an arcade. A game about arcade romances in an arcade. Yes. Really, the core of the game would take an in-depth look at all the different aspects of arcade communities and how they function and interact with each other. Yes. A bit slow for a coin-op arcade game, but also plenty of kissing and touching butts. Ah, okay, now you're speaking my language, which is the language of love. Too easy. I like it.
Alright!
Well, if you ever get super bored of being an arcade event manager, I can hook you up with all the proper people to launch your second career. What do you mean? Oh, I have some friends who make arcade games just for... I have friends who make arcade games for a living. Some friends? As soon as I said it, I became overtly aware of the situation. Since we stepped into the Indie Mega Arcade, people have been waving and nodding to Teo, not to mention all those people stopping us on the way to get over here. And all the people supporting Teo's flash mob. I'd say more than some friends. You're a popular guy.
What? Come on, that's silly.
He waves his hand, waving off the very notion that I know to be true. Everyone knows who he is, and I had no idea. Teo's already been such a crowd pleaser at Showtime stage, but I guess his popularity spread to all facets of his life. Dancing champion and indie arcade scene champion, huh?
I try to keep my friends' circles pretty separate.
He's
Sometimes it's
blushy.
not always perfect and they tend to overlap. You know, like a Max.
He blush.
But hey, it's got upsides. All my friends are here. The biggest downside of Max is just so hard to see everyone. I never get to spend enough time with them, you know?
Oh.
I got friends here in the Indie Mega Arcade. I got my Funplex crew. I got the dancing community. I just can't see them all. And when I can't see them, I feel like I let them down. I hate having to choose between them.
Oh.
Once again, I've failed my friends. You know, it's a surprise anyone still talks to me anymore.
Oh god, I'm dying inside! Teo sighs heavily, his mood shifted from excitement to utter solace. This is the second time I've seen Teo show such anxiety today. Life is not all rainbows and puppies, is it? I can relate to his feelings, though. I dealt with my own insecurities in my own life, my family, notably, and even getting my current job. Sad Teo is worse Teo. As his friend, I must fix this. You can't please everyone, Teo, or allow me to boost your ego, or you haven't let me down. Rational... I don't know which one. I'm not sure if the boosting the ego is fine. You know what? We're gonna stop here. Thank you for joining me. We'll see what will happen next time. What will I choose? Who knows? Because I don't really know right now. But if you don't want to miss the next part, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you liked what you've seen so far, leave a like. If you want to watch the previous parts, I have a playlist. If you want to play the game yourself, I have links in the description. Thank you to this month's patrons. If you're interested in becoming a patron, getting early access to the stuff behind the scenes, to my game development and like art process, maybe some like little snippets of videos here and there, check out the link in the description. Hopefully I'll see you there.